Hey everyone, my name is Jordan Gibby and I'm a guitar enthusiast. I love guitar, I want to share it with people. So the purpose of these videos is to teach people how to play guitar that have zero starting point. And if you're a kid like 12, 13 years old and you're looking to get into lessons, this might be a good place to start before you dive into harder things like theory and notes and sheet music and all that hard stuff. I personally don't know any notes on guitar. I've kept it that way on purpose. I know some chords, but I've been playing for like 20 years. And the first thing I want to establish with guitar is not a traditional instrument to me. It's very different than other instruments. So if you've learned piano at some point, or if you tried playing flute or saxophone or whatever, my background in music is I did learn notes first. I learned piano, I learned saxophone, I learned a bunch of different things, band in school. And I found that I always felt like I was a machine playing someone else's song. So the intent of these videos is to give you the freedom to be your own artist, your own musician. And if you sit down and ask any musician how they wrote a song, they're not going to tell you they read sheet music. They're going to write it themselves. And where does that come from? So these videos will help you find that path, that direction. And then if you do want to do more advanced things, there's tons of guitar courses out there, just like this one, that are better made for that specific reason. But I'm making this for you to make it easy to approach the guitar. Now, the first thing I want to talk about guitar is if you have one lying around the house, the most important thing about a guitar is it needs to be easy to grab and easy to play. So it's likely you've picked up the guitar, tried to play it, your fingers hurt, and then you give up. That happens in a cycle with most people with guitars. They're kind of like a treadmill sometimes. Like you use it, if you're trying to use a treadmill, then you stop using it. So you need to treat it more like how a video game works. So if you go to play your Xbox or PlayStation or your Wii, the first thing you know about that is it's easy to turn on, it's easy to start playing, and it's inviting to play. And why is that? Why is it easy? Because it's available. You're living in a place that's a place that you sit down that you like to be at. So the first thing is I want you to find a place in your house that you like to be when you're playing guitar. Just like you're playing video games. It can be the exact same seat you play Call of Duty in, or whatever the cool game is these days, Fortnite or something. But you need to sit down in that seat with the guitar as if it's a controller, and you need to make yourself commit to that being a comfortable place. That can be outside in the summertime, just like reading a book. You always find a place that you want to sit down and do it. So the guitar needs to be inviting, just like those other things that you do. The second thing is, for me, is the guitar is a free space to explore. It's not something that's going to be strict. Practicing, minutes played, those types of things, those are important if you're struggling and you want to solve something. But if you want to start playing right now at the end of this video, you need to actually just pick it up and be comfortable with it and be ready to have fun with it. Guitars have a ton of options. There's tons of guitars out there. The one you have is the best one you have right now. There's no need to get a fancy one like this one. There's no need to go buy more unless you're already playing the one you currently have. So I love guitar because it's easy to play and it's not that strict. So when you're playing guitar, the first thing you want to do is you want to know how to hold the guitar. So most guitars are designed so you can take the round part of the guitar right here and put it on your leg like this. And this applies for most electric guitars and most acoustic guitars. And the second part is the guitar is designed to be comfortable to hold against your body. So a lot of people will grab a guitar and hold it straight across their chest. And it's actually designed to be held kind of like a gun, like at an angle. So you can kind of, fire it, if that makes sense. But this is a little bit extreme. If you pull it back just a little bit, you'll find that your arm holds it against your chest and your other hand has a lot more leverage. And here's the cool part about using your right arm, if you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, just invert the steps. When you push with this arm down, it pushes the neck away from you, okay? That's important. So when the neck's being pushed away from you with this arm, it leaves your hand if you aren't holding on to it. That creates what's called back pressure. It pushes against your hand. So when you push on your arm, see how it pushes against my hand? That adds a lot of power and playing force to your hands. And traditionally, people will tell you you've got to get calluses, you've got to get strong hands, you've got to really, get grip strength. It's true if the guitar is like a little bit cheaper and not well set up, but in this case, I can have my hand pushing against the strings just by having it sit there. I can pull back with my whole arm, and that's important. So that pulling motion, pulling towards you, like you're lifting a curl, like for weightlifting, that kind of is the same motion pulling toward you, but you're using your arm and your hand. So the guitar is nestled up against your body and it's being pulled towards you. So that's number one. And that's a nice trick to know, but if you overdo it, you're actually going to be pulling too hard and you're not going to be able to move. So you have to be aware that that's only useful if you're playing a note. If you're not playing a note, you don't need to push all the time. So just be aware that that's helpful to get more strength into this hand, into this left hand. The right hand and the left hand, we're going to focus on how to place them on the strings, how to make it comfortable. So once you have your guitar set on your body and you're comfortable holding it and you're comfortable pulling against your body, we're going to focus on just one string. It's going to be this big one right here. And this big one is the most important string on the guitar. So it's this big thick one. They call it the E string. And you don't need to know the names perfectly, but the E string is easy if you're tuning it. And I'm going to go ahead and tune it real quick. So if you want to tune it to the same sound this one is, I'll just tune it real quick. The tuning pegs are pretty easy to use. It's pretty self-explanatory. Turn it one direction, it gets sharp. Turn it the other direction, it goes flat. So sharp is too high, flat's too low. We want it right in the middle. You notice I'll pluck it and then I'll turn it. I'll pluck, then turn, pluck, and then turn. And when I'm plucking, all I'm doing is taking my thumb and just gently pushing from one string to the next, like this. And that's just giving me a lot more control to not worry about playing too many strings. I'll just stop on the next string. We're playing one string today, no more than one. The reason that is if you know someone who's really good at singing, let's say they're the best singer that you know, or you're a rock musician singing their favorite song. If you turn off all the music and you hear just their voice, they're singing one note at a time. And that's important. One note at a time is how all music is made. You can add more notes when you get one note down, but we want to focus on this one string that's tuned to E like this. So make sure yours is tuned. Then we're going to play one note at a time, and we're going to focus on how to play one note. So we're probably going to play 3 notes total in this lesson, probably. And notes are just places on the guitar neck. So if you just follow along, it's actually not too bad. We're going to play here, here, and here. So there's usually dots in your guitar, and those dots mark where you are on the neck, kind of like stairs in a staircase. So you have like a stair, a stair, a stair, a stair, a stair. These are called steps because they're just like stairs. And we're going to be focusing on this one, this dot, and this dot. Okay, this lowest fret right here, the frets, the area between the metal, we're going to try pushing on these 3 frets. Okay. The way to push on a fret, and this took a long time for me to figure out because I didn't have anybody showing me, is your thumb has a pretty big muscle in it right here. It's pretty strong if you use this part of your thumb. But the other part is your arm, your muscle in your forearm is an important area to focus on too. So if you have your hand hooked like this, making a hook, and then you curl your fingers, you have pretty much the form you need. So I'm making like an N with my hand, bringing my thumb down. Now I can make an O, if you see that right there. So this is important for playing a chord or a note, in this case, easily. So I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to keep it in a hook. I'm going to take it down, I'm going to take my thumb, and I'm going to plant my thumb on the back of the neck, okay? And that's going to make it so it's easy to hold. And once again, that's pushing, right? And then I'm going to take my fingers, and see how they're curled like this? It's like an arch. I'm going to curl them and bend my hand, hook my wrist, so I can play the first note. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually open up so you can see this. But my finger is curled. It's like an archway, and you can pass right under it. See, there is nothing underneath there but air. And I'm going to take my thumb and push like a vise together. And I'm going to take my arm over here, I'm going to push a little bit further. And what that does is it puts back pressure on this one finger. I can play this note like this. But I can also take my thumb off and use my arm and push it and play the same note. Right? So the thumb helps you control where you are, so you're not getting lost. Okay, so if I put my thumb down on the neck, and I put my finger down on the neck, I'm playing a note. Now, a lot of times people are holding it too parallel, and they're trying to play straight down with a pick usually. Notice I'm not using a pick. And they're pushing as hard as they can with their hand, and their finger is just flat, like this. They're going like this. And you probably had this happen. That buzz. You're trying really hard. Look how my hand is. Look how flat that is. Look how squished down it is. When I open it up, put my thumb down, give myself air under that finger, take the guitar, pull it in with my arm, and then get it locked in, and push right in the middle of the fret, right inside the middle, not on the metal, not on the lower part, right in the middle. When I pluck it, it plays perfectly. It's designed to play in the middle. So I'm going to go to the next one, do the same technique, and the next one. Okay, so listen to this. Okay, we're focusing on the left hand right now because that's probably what you're used to focusing on. We'll do it again. Notice how easily it is to play those when my thumb is pushing on the back and I'm pulling with my arm, once again. Now here's something I was struggling with when I first started playing. I wouldn't let go. I would hold down and I would slide the next one because I was scared of losing that position. And I wouldn't let go. I'd just keep sliding and it gets really awkward. So what you need to do is you have to release the note. So I'm playing right here. Release, next note, release, next note, release. And here's the nice part. Your thumb can stay on the neck, okay? So if you're playing with your thumb on the neck, you can go here, here, and here without letting go of your thumb. So your pointer finger is the one that's releasing. So watch. So you have that hooked hand right there. So that's how you get those three notes out. So I'm gonna do it one more time. Okay, so now let's focus on the right hand. What's happening over here to make the note sound right? And you probably have struggled in the past, I'm guessing, with like how many notes to play, how fast. Right now it doesn't matter how well you play the note with your right hand as long as it's consistent. So for me to make it consistent, I like to take my fingers and put them on the face of the guitar, all four of them. I don't need them. Put them right there. And then I take my thumb, and without playing a note, I just go down and land on the second string. I just fall onto the second string, like that, okay? Now see, I can do it in rhythm, like that, which we'll get to in a minute, next video probably. It's important to be able to control that motion, right there, okay? So when I play a note, it's okay to let go. It stops the note, but if you let go all the way, it kind of goes to like an open position. So what I'm doing to make this easier for listening is I'm playing it, I'm releasing, but I'm softly holding on to the string. So I'm playing like this, then I let go by just releasing pressure, okay? And like by letting go almost all the way, it stops the note from playing because it kills the note. So here's a live note, here's an open note, here's a killed note. See that? It's like an off switch, you just relieve the pressure. So we're gonna do that one more time. We're gonna go from the right hand, we're gonna play at the same time. So I want you to set your left hand first, get it locked in, get that hook, get that pressure, and then play it like this. Okay, so that's how you play those three notes. If you can't play these three notes on one string, the easiest way to get around that is to play just one. Just play one of them. Pick one of them, your favorite one, and just practice it. To keep doing that, you can watch a TV show, you can talk to your friends, you can do it quietly by playing softer. You can take your palm, rest it on the bridge like this, and you can play like this. So no one can hear it but you. And I would spend a lot of time playing with these three notes, almost like a fidget spinner or something, because it was fun to get them to sound right. And This is really the foundation for a lot of guitar playing, is being able to play 3 notes well. And ultimately, writing your own music, playing songs, playing anything, this string right here is the most important string, and it's important that you know how to play at least these 3 notes correctly. We don't have to play all the notes perfectly, but this form, I'll play it the way I showed you with releasing it. That's how we do it. So that creates the starting point for you to play guitar. This isn't scary to do because it's not that difficult and it's not that complex. The hard thing is going to be picking it up and enjoying doing just that. And that's where it's not as fun as it can be, but this position with your hand, getting clean notes out is the first step to playing guitar. Everything else is going to be just adding on to that. So once again, get the guitar nestled in, use your arm, pull it towards you, get that hand position with the fingers, pull that hook in, and go ahead and play that note with your thumb and your pointer finger. Get that planted, and then go ahead and play that note, all 3 of those notes. And I'll play it with my hand turning off the note. See how I bring it down and it stops it? Look at this. I know this is repetitive. I'm not rushing on this. I'm just basically saying this is how I learned. This is how anyone has to learn, is repetition. So go ahead and do this over and over and over till you can come back and do it perfectly. That's it. We're not tuning the rest of the strings. Just focus on that one string, these 3 notes, and I'll see you when you come back and we'll do more with it. Thanks for checking out this lesson. This is the first lesson. They'll get better as we go, and I'm looking forward to making more and helping you learn guitar. So thanks for jumping in, and good luck.